From the Nashville Metro Soccer Complex in Nashville, Tennessee, this is the 2018 USAFL Central Region Championships. This is the women's de facto grand final between the Texas Heat and the Denver Lady Bulldogs. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Brian Barish, and we say this is the de facto grand final because both of these teams defeated the Midwest All-Stars earlier today, and the winner of this game will be crowned the Central Region champions. Denver won the Western Region last year, Texas competing in their first ever Central Regional Championship. Steve Arnott is the umpire in the middle today for this particular game. Denver is in the blue jumpers, and they will be heading to away from us from our camera position. Texas is in the white. We're underway, and Aubrey Bagley reaches down for it. She's taken down. It's picked up by Crystal Winters, who threw that one on to the left. And it bounces into the hands of Jessica Gray. Gray has a bounce, and then she's chased by one of the players there, and then that is caught. That was Michelle Noel. I blanked on the name, but it's marked there by Masher Mace. So Caitlin Masher Mace sends that one towards the sticks. It's off to the side. It's through for behind. First score of the game in the first minute. It goes to the Denver Lady Bulldogs. Again, the Denver Lady Bulldogs winning earlier today, 52-1 over the Midwest All-Stars. Six-time national champions between 2010 and 2015 as Taylor Bollinger will get set to put the ball back into play. So Bollinger will go out to the near side. Fought away by Hurtado. Running through there was Winters. But they stayed with the football. Ball goes to ground. Handballs it back in front. Chipped in front. Masher Mesa's there. And she will walk in and kick the goal. First goal for the Denver Lady Bulldogs goes to Caitlin Masher Mace. 1-1-7 to no score. So just looking before, Masher kicked 3 goals in that game against the All-Stars team, who played very well, it must be said, even though that score in that second game was lopsided. They only lost by 2 goals in the earlier game against the Heat, who won 26-14. Back in the middle, back again. This is Kastanek, who was thrown to the ground. Ball cried the crowd. Boot says the umpire. And then kicked on again, looking for it. Picking it up there was Winters, but it's picked off by Koo, who dropped the pill. And then here they come the other way, swinging a miss from Harrison. Rebar trying to body her way in, as is Beatty. And the umpire says that's a free kick. I wasn't quite sure what for, but it goes against Rebar. And the free kick goes to Alyssa Gadd, one of 4 rookies on this team. She'll go in short. Thexton, who had 3 in the last game, just got it off to the right. Goes through the hands of Kate Smith, but there is Hurtado, who throws that one on to the right. It goes into the pocket, and over to get it, to pick it up was Winters, and Winters will send it back, and it's marked. And it's marked by Jessica Gray. Gray, one of several players on this Lady Bulldogs side who went to Melbourne for the International Cup last year. That one comes through, and here they come back the other way as Ballinger goes through. That clean bowls everybody except for Rebar, who hooks around, throws that one on to the right. Picked up by Kastanek. Kastanek running through. Long handball across for Thexton, who dropped the pill, and she's going to end up getting the free kick as she was caught a little bit of high contact. So here is Anna Thexton, again native of Golden, Colorado. Currently lives in Boulder. And this is from dead in front. The kick is on the way. It is dead center. Perfect, and a nice little job by Masher Mace to clear out the spot so that Thexton could be rewarded with the full sausage roll. 2-1-13 for the Lady Bulldogs. No score for the Texas Heat. And the Bulldogs, now Thexton and Masher Mace, all have 4 goals. Both have 4 goals on the day, which leads the women's division. And it's interesting also to kind of see, in a good way, that they're not relying on Hallie Kastanek. Of course, Lindsay Kastanek, Hallie's wife, is not playing today. She is coming off of an injury, so she is sitting this out. And it doesn't sound like so far they haven't really needed her. This is going to be a free kick. It's going to come all the way back to the Heat. And I believe there was an infringement in the center square, so that'll be a free kick to Julia Wells, one of 4 Aussies on this Texas Heat side. That one is sent down the pike. Going back is Noel, tripped over Koo, however, and then sending that one out was looking for Roner, but there is Ballinger, who goes in short. That one is kicked up high in the air, marked by Rebar. So here is Haley Rebar, who kicked an amazing goal in the last game, looking for Bagley. Where's the defense? Bagley kicks that one by Newell. That one's off to the right side, and it's through 4 behind. First score of the game for the Texas Heat. Great job by Aubrey Bagley. And we mentioned it in the last game. So it's 13-1, by the way, as the Heat get on the board. Aubrey Bagley, keep an eye out for her because she'll most likely be involved in the conversation as we head towards International Cup 2020. And there she is again with the football as she spears that one up over the top. And then in there is Thane in on Koo, who has gotten a little bit more involved and will have a ball up. Ball in the air, Koo, and now Rebar up there. That's going to be a great matchup, is Rebar against Kastanek. And then that one was kicked in. It drops in front of Winters. It also clean bowls Roner, and that's going to end up being a free kick to Sarah Roner. Roner also kicked the goal in that game earlier today, and it was a nice one. She's got 2 really nice goals in regionals. That one will go through. It's going to head towards the sticks, and it's going to go through for another behind. So another scoring opportunity for the Lady Bulldogs. That takes them on to 2-2-14, 1 point for the Texas Heat. Ball on the ground. There is Thexton, picked up by Bollinger. Great job of a shepherd there. And it's tipped down and marked by Gray. Well, you can see the experience of the Lady Bulldogs there at a lot of these instances, but they are still playing them very tough with the Texas Heat. So here is Gray. Gray's kick is on the way. It's going to be short. Masher Mason. Oh, nice mark by Taylor Ballinger, who is having a pretty good day on the defensive side. She has taken a ton of marks and really stopped some great opportunities in both games so far. The mark is taken by Teroy. Teroy with a wounded duck, and it's picked off by Newell, who has moved up into the half-forward position. So here is Amanda Newell, one of the rookies for the Lady Bulldogs. Puts together a pretty good kick, looking for Thexton. Couldn't get to it. It clean bowls her. Over to get it, however, is Bagley. Bagley will throw that one onto the right, high up into the air. It's dropped, looking for Noel. Noel looking into the middle. There was a gaping field in front of her, but Newell was taken down. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. Great job by Haley Rebar. So Rebar, I'll tell you what, she's tall, she's big, but she's able to do a lot, and she's deceptively fast. As the ball comes to the inside now, as there is Finn, who kicks that one in, going in short. Newell couldn't get to it as it went off her shin. She's down hurt now, as I think she might have caught contact in the head. Now she's getting up. Meanwhile, Wells, they turned it over, and that's through 4 behind, as Newell is now up. And it's through 4 behind. So Texas moving on the front foot a little bit, as that takes them on to 2 behinds. It's a 2-goal difference. 2-2-14 for Denver Lady Bulldogs, and the Texas Heat 2 points. Out to the right side. This is the women's grand final in all intents and purposes. However, if it is a draw, Denver will win the championship. Oh, great tackle in there by Jackie Sparling, and that is holding the ball. Great job by Sparling. So here come the Heat. What can they do here? They've got a man. They've got an open player in Harrison. Instead, they go to the right, and it's marked by Rebar. So Rebar comes back, throws that one onto the left, and dropped by Noel. Goes back to tackle Kastanek. Oh, that's got to be ball. But it isn't. It's a ball up because they said that she didn't have. Well, she didn't have. I thought she had prior, but in fact she didn't. And interference, and it'll be a free kick. It will go to Kastanek. I think it was the third man up rule. Well, not the rule, but something happened. But in any event, they go out to Bremner, who takes the mark over Bagley. So Bremner throws that one onto the right, looking for Masher Mace, going down to get it, and then that goes out. That is Emily Rice, by the way, number 6 for Denver. There it is, and there's a shot for goal by Gray, and Jessica Gray has kicked a sausage roll. 3-20 for the Denver Lady Bulldogs. And 2 points only for the Texas Heat. But you are seeing some good passages of play from the Heat in the middle of the ground. But again, the experience of this Denver Lady Bulldog side, not only in USAFL play, but also in international play. And we have an infringement in the box. It's going to be a free kick to the Texas Heat. Free kick will go to the Rock in Julia Wells. So Wells looking around, sends that one up the far side, tapped down by Gadd. And then, oh, that's got to be holding the ball, and it is. Great tackle by Haley Rebar in on Candace Webster. My goodness gracious me, what a job she's doing. She throws that one onto the left, dropped by Kastanek, who stayed with the football and runs into Rebar, and Rebar takes her down. Oh, a heavy tackle by Haley Rebar. What a game she is having. I'll tell you what, we've seen players like Liz Danielson come through and make the national team. I think Haley should at least be in the conversation for the Liberty. They come out to the near side. Thane threw the football, not called. Ball goes to ground. In after it is Bagley and Hurtado. Everyone down mushroom farming. Umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor. Will have a ball up. Denver Lady Bulldogs 3-20. Texas Heat 2 behind. Central Regional Women's Championship here for 2018. Out to the far side. It's picked up by Harrison. Ball! And down she goes as Bremner was in there. And so Allison Bremner will get the free kick. Bremner throws that one on to the right. Up high. And over the top, there's Harrison. As she went backwards looking for a target, Kastanek handballs it on, looking for Doe, who is taken down. Threw that one on to the right is Rice. And that is through and out of bounds. It'll be a free kick because it went out on the full. But Denver is pushing harder a little bit more now. Texas trying to batten down the hatches. So free kick from the back line. This is Ballinger. Virginia City, Texas. Out the far side. Taken down. This is Webb, who goes into the middle. Looking for Masher Mace. It clean bowls her. Picked up by Fan, I believe, and it's going to be a free kick for holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Sarah Rohner. Rohner, another veteran of this Denver Lady Bulldogs side, also played for the USA Freedom. The kick is on the way. It's a pretty good kick. The umpire, though, is on the wrong side of the stick, and it's through for another minor score. 3-3-21 Denver. 2 behind for Texas. It's a 19-point lead. Ballinger from the goal square goes out to the far side. And the ball is going out of bounds, and because it was not touched off a kick-in, that's going to be a free kick. It'll be a free kick to Denver, and it will go the way of the closest player, which appears to be Candace Webb. Now, we did see an upset in the Eastern Regionals 3 weeks ago with the New York Lady Magpies, Division I powerhouses, falling to Boston and Baltimore, Washington. Texas not out of this yet, but they're going to need to stop some of these forward momentum swings here. And then here is Aubrey Bagley. Bagley will kick that up. It'll drop in front, looking for Winters now, but there's Bruce. That might be high. No, it's in the back. Either way, it'll be a free kick to Susan Bruce, but good enterprise there by Crystal Winters. Throws that one on to the right, up high, down low. Bounces away from Rebar. Rebar, a clever little toe poke. And then that one goes on, and now they're playing soccer. Picked up by Hurtado. Sent that one towards Roner. Skips by Ballinger. Roner was faster. Roner just tried a handball, and she is gone. Taylor Ballinger. Great pursuit of Sarah Roner, and she takes her down and will earn the free kick from the back line. Ball in the middle of the ground. That was from the other field. Picking that one up is Webb. Gives it to Kastanek. Kastanek throws that one on to the right. Hallie Kastanek. And has she kicked the goal? Yes, she has. Hallie Kastanek kicks her first of the afternoon. That takes Denver on to 4-3-27. Texas 2 behinds. It's out to a 25-point lead. Kastanek has played in all 3 women's international cups for the USA Freedom. And her 2017 tournament was truncated when she suffered a dislocated elbow in the second game against Papua New Guinea. Of course, that allowed a number of other players to step up in the ruck position, including Brett Brower, who also didn't finish that tournament because of injury, and Meg Leone, who plays for the San Francisco Iron Maidens. We'll see Meg, and we'll see Brett Brower and the rest of the San Francisco Iron Maidens in Sacramento in 2 weeks' time. Knocked forward by Kastanek over Rebar. Kastanek, there's Bremner's shot. One-on-one contest. Ballinger going against Masher Mace. There is Doe, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in, but a good opportunity for the Lady Bulldogs. Once again, Texas showing a lot of pluck and a lot of mettle here and all those other words, and I've been very impressed. Taylor Ballinger has done a fantastic job in the back line, as has Haley Rebar going against Masher Mace, and there is Rebar who wins that battle. She's got to work on her kicking a little bit, it must be said, but once she gets that down, as Winters is able to get it away, long handball over, handballs it around, off the side of the foot from Hurtado, and stays in play, and Ballinger will see the ball out of bounds. 27 plays 2 here. Women's Division Final Game Central Regional Championships here in Nashville, Tennessee, and our thanks to the good folks here in Nashville and the Nashville Kangaroos, as that one is speared through, and that is another behind. They're hitting thick and fast now. 4-4-28 for Denver. 2 behinds for Texas. Out to the far side now. Looking for Ryan, who's been fairly quiet, rather Kate Smith, who's been pretty quiet in this game. The ball went out of bounds first, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. So it actually was awarded as a free kick, and here is Kastanek. Kastanek will go in short, and picked up by Rice. Rice kicks for a goal across the face, and that's there for a goal. So Emily Rice, who's already played 2 games with the Midwest All-Stars, comes over here to help make up the numbers, and she kicks her first of the game, and the 5th for the Denver Lady Bulldogs. 5-4-34 for Denver, and 2 points for Texas. Emily Rice plays. She is the president of the Des Moines Football Club. I thought I heard a siren, but it wasn't. I thought it was just all the guys on the sideline making a siren, almost like a vuvuzela sound. But in fact, we continue on. And there is Fane. That one goes across. Drops in. Knocked down. Great tackle in there by Doe, but it was high, and that's going to end up being a free kick. So it was great, but illegal. And the question is who gets the free kick? And it will go the way of Felicity Harrison. So Harrison in her own halfback line now. And that is halftime. So entertaining first 20 minutes. Denver, all the goals and everything up on the cash register. 5 goals from 5 different goal scorers. Thexton, Gray, Kastanek, Masher, Mace, and Rice. But Texas is throwing everything at them, and at halftime, it's the Denver Lady Bulldogs 5-4-34. The Texas Heat 2 behind. We'll be right back with the second half of this one. You're watching the 2018 USAFL Central Regional Championship here on USAFL.com.